Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we're looking at 3.4.27 patch note is finally released, and now let's take a look what is the kit of the Fox. Cause the previous one I already made the highlights, and we already roughly know what the kit works and what is the event upcoming. So now we're gonna break into more details about the kit. So Ryota here is a 5-star Inferno Esper, and then it's a supporter who boosts the attack power of the teammate who are affected by stealth. So the current game, the stealth mode Esper, there's only a few. For example, Tetsuya, Iki, Xiaoyin, Intisar, Elaine, Alolin, if not mistaken. Like only there's a few Esper that is only getting affected by the stealth. So in terms of like the meta Esper that is actually very good at stealth, I will say it's gonna be Iki and Tetsuya. Then the potential one will be like Intisar or probably Elaine. But we're gonna see what it can actually bring towards the stealth meta, right? Because S1 deals damage to one enemy based on attack, so it's an attack scaling Esper and reduce the cooldown of S3. The Scarlet Might rate here is actually the S3. Then S2 here is actually a passive. You cannot gain stealth or you cannot get affected by stealth effects. So your Ryota here is no way to able to get any kind of buff that can make him into a stealth. So for each teammate who have stealth mode, reduce the final damage taken from single target ability down to a cap. So from this part here, my prediction of the playstyle of that Esper is gonna be something, let's say I'm gonna build Ryota and 4 stealth mode Esper. So if I can able to make 4 stealth mode Esper, then everyone is actually forced to hit Ryota. Then with the Ryota passive here, for every teammate with a stealth mode, will reduce the final damage Ryota is able to take by the single target ability down to a cap. We have no idea what is the percentage at the moment, but let's assume they can reduce down to like 80%. Alright, then Ryota probably can tank a lot of the single target ability, because the single target ability is not able to hit your teammate, because all your teammate is in stealth mode. Then they are forced to attack on Ryota. Then Ryota can actually reduce a lot of the final damage from the single target ability. Then it will be very tanky, but it won't reduce the damage from the AoE damage, so there's still a little bit risky part here. So I'm not sure what is the percentage here, but if we assume 80%, it might actually look pretty good. Because you can think of Meta Ira with 4 Esper that have stealth mode. Meta Ira is basically able to help your team to tank 50 hit before they're able to hit your other stealth mode Esper, right? So it might actually look interesting. Then another thing is, after a teammate takes action, if they don't have Nox Fox, then they will get Soul Link. But I'm not sure what is after a teammate takes action. Is like, does the teammate needs a stealth mode, or any other teammate will get the buff? If from my understanding, I think that no matter the teammate got stealth mode or not, as long as they take action, they will get a specific buff, which is gonna be Soul Link. Then Soul Link here will increase the teammate crit rate, stack up to a limit, and each dispelling attack only remove 1 stack. So let's say it's gonna be 5 stack, then increase the crit rate is like, let's say 10% per stack, then 5 stack is gonna be 50%. Then probably this special Soul Link buff can actually bypass Chuya's Spirit Aegis. This is something I want to test at the test server, because Chuya's Spirit Aegis is reduced the crit chance by 100%. So what if the original Esper have 100% crit rate? With this Soul Link buff that increase your crit rate can probably bypass the Chuya Spirit Aegis, then it will be interesting. Or else the Soul Link increased crit rate here doesn't seems like too interesting, because like most of the time your Esper is gonna build with high crit rate. Why would you need another Soul Link buff to increase your crit rate while you already have 100%? Like crit rate up buff won't benefit your Esper to bypass the Chuya Spirit Aegis unless it's an elemental advantage. So I'm really curious what is the interaction of this Soul Link with the Chuya Spirit Aegis. Then another one is, if you have max stack of Soul Link, so let's say it's gonna be 5 stack, if the carrier is affected by any stealth effect, then this buff transforms into Nox Fox. So if the Esper, let's say like Jinchu, doesn't have a stealth mode in his kit, then he can't get stealth, right? Then he's not able to transform the Soul Link into Nox Fox. But if you are Esper that have stealth mode, for example like Iki or Tetsuya, probably when you're going to trigger the stealth effect, then it will transform into Nox Fox that is cannot be dispelled, and you instantly gain a stealth. then increase your crit rate and boost your S3 damage. So by the boost your S3 damage here, I think the most suitable esper is going to be Tetsuya, or probably Elaine, or probably Intisa. I don't think Iki really suits into the Nox Fox that much. It's because Iki main damage output is not through the S3. Iki main damage output is through the passive. So when you're actually boosting the crit rate of Iki is fine, unless it is actually bypass the Spirit Aegis. But boosting the S3 damage doesn't benefit Iki. It will benefit Tetsuya a lot to ensure Tetsuya S3 is actually able to nuke players' unit. So it will be a very good synergize, and because you have Nox Fox and then you gain stealth, so it will actually combine with Tetsuya. So Tetsuya S3 kill someone, and then Tetsuya go back into stealth mode. Then if you kill, then Tetsuya passive will trigger his another bonus turn to kill another people, then go back into stealth mode, and then you instantly trigger the Nox Fox and increase more crit rate and boost S3, I guess. Or probably when you instantly get Soul Link, when you have max stack before Tetsuya casts S3 to kill someone, then instantly trigger Nox Fox to get additional crit rate and then boost the S3 damage of Tetsuya and one-shot the enemy. I have no idea like how the interaction will go, but based on the paper, it will make Tetsuya a lot more stronger. Because currently Tetsuya doesn't seem like too broken, right? But probably when Ryota come into the battle, when you are putting Ryota in the team, then it will greatly increase the damage of Tetsuya and make it more safe. Because another weakness about Tetsuya is that he will go out of the stealth mode, the shark form, very easily. So if Nox Fox here can actually keep making him go back into the water, then he might actually be very strong. Then S3 here, restore max HP to all allies. So based on my understanding, restore max HP is basically the effect like Armored that can finally refill back the max HP cap. So if you get max HP reduction by Iki or for the other Esper that can reduce a max HP reduction, then Ryota here can restore it back. So this is actually very good counter against all those max HP reduction Esper kit. And then dispel several buff debuff from them. So I'm not sure how many debuffs, so let's assume it's going to be 3. Then heals them for a certain amount of percentage of their max HP. So this is a max HP based healing. But the kit itself of Ryota seems like doesn't need a lot of requirement in terms of stats, because the S1 damage here doesn't matter. Then the S3 here restored a certain percentage here is based on their ally max HP, right? So it's nothing about Ryota's stats. From my understanding and what I'm feeling after reading the kit, Ryota here just need to be freaking tanky to survive for the team and keep providing buff, which is the Soul Link and Nox Fox for the team, and then trigger S1 to reduce your cooldown of S3, then keep on spamming the S3 healing for your team. I think that's the main reason for Ryota. So you doesn't have like high requirement to like build your Esper to be high max HP or that Esper to be high attack, high crit rate, high speed. Ryota doesn't seem like that. Ryota seems like you can build very slow and very tanky will do, because you don't really need Ryota to take an action. Because how they get the buff is after the teammate take action. How they get the Nox Fox is after your teammate gets stealth. How Ryota heal is based on your teammate max HP. Then how Ryota damage doesn't matter, because he doesn't really damage at all and mainly reduce the S3 here. So I think Ryota kit requirement doesn't need that high. You can actually build Ryota fairly easily. Just build him tanky enough to survive to provide the buff you do. That's from my take of Ryota kit. Then let's look at Rezo. R1 here, final increase in healing increase. This is even better for the healing from S3. Then R2 here, teammate now grant gain increased stack of Soul Link after taking action. So it will make you stack up faster for the Soul Link and then go faster into the Nox Fox if you have a stealth mode. Then R4 here, further increase the damage of damage. Huh? Your S3 don't damage, right? Yeah, you don't damage your S3. I think it's further healing. Unless it's a typo, or else I think that this is a typo. Like your S3 doesn't seem like it's a damage skill, it's a healing skill. I think it's the healing amount of the percentage of your S3. Like let's say 20% of max HP of the target increase to 30%. Not sure. Oh, not to mention the Ascension here grants attack up and speed up as well. This is actually very strong. Okay, then for the R6 here, teammate with the stealth gains extra turn. This itself instantly boosts the value of Tetsuya. It won't boost the value of Ikki because Ikki want to build slow and Ikki doesn't need the extra turn. So but Tetsuya needed the extra turn because more extra turn for Tetsuya able to spam more S3. And when a teammate with Nox Fox casts an ability, there's a chance of resetting the cooldown of S3. When a teammate with Nox Fox casts an ability, I wonder if this S3 is referring to Ryota's own S3. So let's say you pair Ryota with Tetsuya, then Tetsuya gains the Nox Fox, and then if Tetsuya casts S3 or S1, which is an ability, then Ryota is able to reset his S3, so he is able to spam more attack up and speed up for the team, restore more max HP, and then heal them as well. I think this will be the case. So the R6 here doesn't... Okay, R6 here seems pretty good. I don't think this is good. I don't think this is that important, but I think the teammate with stealth gain extra turn will benefit Tetsuya by a lot. Okay, but if we are just talking like, if you would just want to use Ryota with Tetsuya combination, I think that R2 here brings in a quality of life for increasing the soul link, so we can stack up faster to go to the Nox Fox, right? But depends on what is the max stack of soul link. And then I don't think the R4 is that important. I don't think the R6 is a must. But I think R4 will be good for quality of life. But we're gonna see like what is the max stack of soul link. Overall, the kit itself is very good. Nothing too much, nothing too fancy, but it's a very solid supporter unit because it might actually bring Tetsuya to a new level of meta, or probably make bring a lot of value into the stealth mode. Like remember like when Yukine released, when there's not a lot of freeze esper, then Yukine value is not that high. But the moment Maria came out, then the whole freeze meta just revived because Yukine is the freeze queen. Then Ryota here I will say is actually the stealth king, if from the kit itself, because it will benefit everything about stealth. So in the future, when other than Tetsuya that is actually providing stealth, then he will be very good. So based on paper, it seems a very solid kit, but I want to test like what is the synergize of the soul link, how is the synergize between the other stealth mode esper as well, then I will have a final conclusion. But on paper, it's a solid esper for PvP. PvE, I'm not sure yet, but I don't think so, because PvE you don't really need the crit rate. In PvE you don't really need the max HP reduction, restore. Attack up and speed up were good, but the S1 doesn't benefit anything, so I don't think PvE he will have any showcases, but I think mainly for PvP, Ryota and Tetsuya. Okay, so can be obtained from the echo after this update, which is you are able to wish stone it. And keep note, a new Umbra Esper will be introduced in the next version. So if you are a player that actually chasing for meta and instead of just character design, then you might actually keep note about this, because Umbra Esper is coming, and Umbra Esper is actually very consuming about your Nexus Crystal, and this Ryota here is actually a Wishstone Esper, so probably you might not want to use all your Nexus Crystal. You actually want to save your the crystal for the Umbra Esper. Okay, Summer Arena, which is the RTA content we're gonna have, it lasts for the whole patch. And then we're gonna see you need at least 12 Esper to join, and then entire division for real-time battle. When you play an arena match for the first time, your initial tier will be okay. This is nothing too special. Then the format here is also good. It's a first ban. Then after you pick 5 and then you ban another one, then the third slot will get protection. That's what we've shown in the highlight already. Then what made me curious is about this new hit system. A new hit system has been added. At the end of each match, you earn a certain amount of hit. Then once you accumulate enough of a hit, then hit will be consumed to trigger various buffs. Like you win, right? Or okay, at the end of each match, so it doesn't matter you win or lose, as long as you actually join into battle, then you'll get hit. Then probably when, let's say you join in 4 battle and all 4 battle you lose, then you accumulate enough hit, then the hit will trigger a various buff for you to let you be stronger at the next RTA fight. That's what I am thinking. Then each victory gives you a number of fortune sleep. Based on your tier, defeat also grants a small number of the sleep. I think this is a currency. the currency to buy stuff in the RTA, because usually the shop RTA here will give you a shop to let you buy stuff. Okay, then the event exclusive name card, frames, and other reward. Okay, then Golden City Challenge is our pop quiz event. So basically this is the gamble event, right, for us to actually vote on what kind of team you're going for. So I'll be making a video for the Golden City Challenge, because my previous video I also made Golden City Challenge series, like who am I going to bet on, something like that. It's just for fun with the community. Then you can actually enjoy it. Summer Dream is something very boring, I would say. Then the Doomsday Horizon Phase 2 is basically our typical event, which have the Abyssal Trial and Memory Reef. Then the loyalty boxes here are the same one, like the Fumisuki, Yuran, Ife, Brewster, all this thing. And then the this is the read up. We have Bajun, Jinchio, and Ryota at the first week. Then Elaine, Leora, and Ryota. Then we have Haley, Matteo, and Ryota for the third week. So overall, from the wish pool itself, doesn't seem too fancy. It's more about for PvP and a mixture of some skippable esper, so not too important. Then the last one is about feature improvement. Quick rival rune level up. So automatically disassemble the higher level or fuse the lower tier rival rune as needed, so you don't have to manually press like you want to disassemble them or fuse them to higher tier. They can just automatically help you do it, which is a quality of life for leveling up your rival rune. Then disassembling and fusing rival rune no longer cost goals. This is actually very good, because previously when you're actually fusing the rival rune or disassembling actually costs a lot of gold. So this is some quality of life for the player that haven't maxed out the rival rune, so it will be a good quality of life. But for most of us who already have high level or rival rune, then these changes doesn't matter. So overall the patch here, to be honest, overall the patch here, I will say what makes me interesting is always the new esper. And then the RTA here seems interesting because of the new, the highlight here did mention how the method works. It seems more interesting than the previous RTA we have. And then Golden City Challenge here is something for us to go through some betting. And then the summer event, Phase 1 is good. With the Reincarnation Tower, Phase 1 is good. But the Phase 2 here, it seems boring for me, in my opinion. Because I was actually expecting that there's actually more new event content for us to play. Let's say Reincarnation Phase 2, let's say a bossing content for us, fighting Yinglong, because based on the story, seems like they summon Yinglong out from the Papaya Island, right? If you watch the story event. So I thought that Phase 2 is actually gonna be like a bossing content for us to enjoy. But I think what they are thinking, which is the developer team, they're thinking that because players are going to focus on RTA, they don't want to distract them, then they made this event mainly focus on the Summer Arena. That's the take. But in my opinion, I think that other than Summer Arena and Golden City Challenge, these two events kind of lame. Okay, in my opinion. Because I hope that they actually make in more interesting event, or probably bring in a new perma event. Like for example, Falsetto Fantasy, the 3 bosses, which we have been fighting it for so many times. Why not they just rotate something else? Like let's say the 3 Falsetto Fantasy bosses, every month they're gonna change the rotation. Let's say for now it's gonna be Probator, Dark Starlord, and Sonica. Why not when the next month they will become like Protoss, the Octopus, Yinglong, and probably the, what's that called? Torch Dragon, the previous event bosses. If you can actually combine with other different bosses they already have into Falsetto Fantasy and actually rotate per month or probably per 4 patch, I think actually will make a lot of things interesting. So I think why I can make a video about like the current dislike state or suggestion. If you are interested, you can feel free to comment down, let me know. But I really think that they really need to bring up a new perma content to actually hype up the game. It's not that the game is not fun or whatever, it's just that the bosses content, right? For example, like the PvE, Falsetto Fantasy as an example, the bosses haven't been changed anything at all. So I think they can actually put in the previous bosses that they designed that actually very nice, like Protoss, Torch Dragon, all these bosses is actually very cool, but they did not actually fully utilize the asset into the perma content. So I hope they actually consider about it in the future. Yeah. So yeah, that's all for this video. I'll be trying out the new esper at the test server to see what is the synergize with it. And before that, hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Sky Elk, Trekcan, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Rocco Stendions, thank you so much for your support. And also special thanks to the Super Tanks MVP, HMZ Rings, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.